Today I'm going to just discuss with you how to format your book. I'm going to be doing this in a series of videos, and this one is about how to prepare the book to go from a Word document you're just writing your story in to one that is to be formatted. A lot of what I'm going to show you is things if you decide you don't want to format your book. You can do yourself and help your formatter. And some of this is stuff that you might just do at the beginning of writing because you could type your book with these basics set up. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to do a search and replace and get rid of any possible tabs in the book. Actually, let's start with the paragraph since that's there. No, we'll start with tabs. So I'm going to look for tabs and replace it with nothing. You shouldn't use tabs. I don't think this author actually did, and I did get the author's permission to use her book. And I'm just going to replace every tab with nothing. Now notice none of her paragraphs moved over. She obviously used tabs at some point and maybe with a few paragraphs, but overall she didn't use tabs, which means this is done the right way, and we'll talk about that in a second. Next, we will replace all of the double paragraphs with single paragraphs. And I'm doing this because these symbols right here, those are on because I have this button right here pressed. So here, if I close this right here is how I get that. I find that to be very important when I am formatting to see why things are going wonky. I'm going to replace all these double enters with single enters. And this is not going to be 5. Oops, I didn't. Okay. Double paragraph, single paragraph. This is not going to be 5 because we see right here there's a lot of them. Replace all. And it's thinking. So this replaced 5,216. If you see right now, it says there are 384 pages. When I hit OK, it goes down to 384 pages. Okay, maybe not. Last time it changed. Okay, so that is this book. We now have everything condensed and nicely looking better already. Next I'm going, oh, there it is, 208. So we've lost like 100 pages just by taking out the extra carriage returns. I know there's 3 here. We'll deal with that in another video. We're not worried about the tops and bottoms yet. We're just worried about the basic, like, high overview of the document. I'm going to hit Control All next. I want to deal with what looks like a large tab. So I'm going to go into Paragraph. I'm going to do a few things here. First of all, I'm going to say first line, I want this to actually be 0.3. And what this does is it moves those over to something much smaller. In the ebook and even in the paperback or hardcover, whichever you want, it's going to look a lot better with a smaller tab set there. So I do that. And the next thing I do is line spacing. Instead of single or double, I'm going to set this exactly. I usually go 17 points. Some people choose 16. This is going to set the density of the book. And I think 17 is a nice, easy read density. If you've ever read a book and you felt each page was really dense with words, this is where all of that gets set up. I'm also going to set this to Baskerville Oldface. That's a font I really like. I'm going to set the font up to 14 because that's an easily read font. This is increasing the page each time I set these different things. And you'll notice I'm also changing the headers. Again, all of this will get, the chapter headers will get changed on their own later when I start doing the chapter art. So don't worry that those are getting affected each time. We will do a whole video on chapter headers. I'm going to hit full justification. It's the thing I forget most often. So now we have the massive amount of the book set. We have the right justification, we have the right font, we have the right tab set. The majority of the book now is how we want it, except it still looks like normal 8.5 by 11. So instead of paragraph, we're going to go over to page setup. So we'll start with at 8.5 by 11, which is not quite 8.5 by 11. We're going to go to 6 by 9 because that is the trim of the book this author has asked for. And then for our margins, because this is a book, we're going to start right away with mirror margins. Mirror margins just means that the inside margin is that bound part of the book. I usually leave the top margin and the bottom margin as 1 inch, and I set the inside usually to 0.7 because of the spine. I need it to be pretty big. And then the outside, I usually go down to 0.4. You can go down maybe a little bit more, but I like to leave a little room because people usually have their thumbs there so they can read. So this is usually how I set up my page, regardless of my trim. And I've done lots of different trims. I've gone down a few times, but often I'll also get margin errors if you go too much smaller than this. So this has been my most successful margin setup. And when I do this, my 367, because of my font changes and everything, now goes up to 638 pages. This is a long book. And once I get my chapter art in, this is probably going to get up to close to 700 pages. This book is long. So that is the first set of steps that I've done, just getting my book set up. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video of formatting. Thanks.